That's the right name, brother. Love Lake. Brother Love Lake. That's the right name. All right, man. Brother Love Lake. That's the right name.
I just got notification on Facebook and YouTube. That's good. So that probably means I have no. It says 2.71 Mbps. It's on the low end. It still says 0 viewers. So I wonder if it's not actually seeing people on social media.
But hey, Officer Rose is gone. Officer Rose can't handle the place that he's gone. It's some of y'all that go and there's some of y'all that don't.
Alright, so it just tells me that
Officer Rose, he's gone. Officer Rose is gone, right? Because he couldn't handle the question. You was able to come in and handle the question.
it's a loss.
Tomorrow, niggas is gonna be like, oh yeah, they was pepper spraying, we can't know who it is. And then it just keeps on escalating and escalating. But people didn't understand why he was pushing it from the gun. And somebody could have
Yeah, I should get a second.
so it's all about just being able to talk and communicate.
I think the cops were being upset with people were saying.
And it's just black cop. I was telling Officer Chambers, I said, look, I don't know.
Well, I got a Vermin Supreme retweet, so those are moving. It's so weird having it say 0 audience, though, because I don't know if it's not working. I wonder if you're just setting the flag or Hello everybody, so I'm using a new app that actually allows me to live stream on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube simultaneously. It used to be that I had to choose between one of those out of the 3, so this will be kind of interesting. The problem that I'm having though is that on my end I actually can't see any feedback whatsoever. It says 0 viewers, but I looked on someone else's device and I can see that it is working. So to anybody who has my personal contact, either Facebook message me or text me if there's any kind of issues. And if it is working, I'm happy to get positive feedback. If you can text me like that, I'll be able to see it. Anyway, we are at the BHAZ, the Black House Autonomous Zone. This is sort of DC's answer to what has been going on in Seattle. So we're going to do a little tour here. Behind me is St. John's Cathedral. This is where the Trump photo op with the Bible happened. And so after an escalation a couple of nights ago that I was not here for, they have basically barricaded, the police have barricaded around the entire church, setting up cement barricades, cops, and then a fence. So this entire area of H Street is cut off. You can see the, of 16th Street is cut off. You can see the police set up over there, and that's actually sort of a one-way thing. Earlier, myself and my friend Alejandro tried to leave that way, and then when we tried to come back in, the cops were like telling us we can't. Ultimately, they just let us through anyway. But so basically, it's blocked off mostly in that direction, at least specifically from cars. Additionally, they re-erected the fence that you see behind me. This goes to the White House, of course. And so that has been blocked off again. There was only about a few days, that was that fence, or I guess actually no, it was longer. It was probably at least a week that fence was down after being up for a while during the protests earlier. So my understanding is that recently a march left from here, which is why there's a relatively fewer number of people, but they are as close as Gallery Place, which is basically like one metro stop away. And so I expect that more people will be showing back up here and kind of amping things up soon. But so let's take a look. So far it's mostly been kind of arguing with protesters and police primarily.
These are the elements of domestic terrorism. So it's from the terrorism against the American people or no? An abusive expression of executive authority similarly described as an act of absolute power. Donald Trump did order the extension of the perimeter around the White House on June 1st, 2020. This decision was made with the knowledge of the lawful protests that were occurring in the state he sought to clear at the time. And as a result of this order, we were able to get a bizarre photo op when the police and National Guard were unleashed on the American people. The elements of this crime are acts dangerous to human life, which they were, as the protesters had the right to occupy public property. And authorizing the use of force created a situation whereby citizens had to accept tyranny or fight a heavily armed police force to defend their rights, their First Amendment rights to petition. Many injuries were reported among protesters, and many arrests were made unlawfully given the unlawful nature of the order. The second element is that action that can this conduct physically intimidating the civilian population. Whether or not guys in a bizarre photo op find that to be right is signed as such by former Defense Secretary James Madden, who also compares to the Nazi suppression of free speech. In a similarly done letter, National Guard Bureau Chief General Joseph Lingiel, whose troops were employed to perform the unlawful act, he stated, "We must be better, and we cannot abide the right." Though he didn't specifically reference Mr. Trump's conduct, the third element of domestic terrorism is that the crime did occur primarily within the territorial jurisdiction of the United States, having Washington, D.C. that occurred in the exclusive jurisdiction of the United States. Article 4, election fraud. In the 2016 election, Mr. Trump was one private original evidence, using illegally obtained information on the American public with a claim of 5,000 data points by 30 Americans, which were then used to create political propaganda This briefing does not seek to indict Mr. Trump for these acts. However, in February 2020, Mr. Trump did openly participate in the campaign to defraud the electoral process by refusing to intervene. So he publicly acknowledged the fraud committed by the DNC against and as a result of his actions, the only deserving candidate neither of our two parties was worse than the final debate in the last.
Hey. So I heard some people march but they're already looped back around to Gallery Place, so they're probably not too far off from getting back here.
Was that way earlier or just now?
Well, they left way earlier, like an hour and a half ago, but like as of like 15 minutes ago, they're at Gallery Place, which means if they're on their way here, then maybe 10 or 20
So they ran off with some group. They apparently went all the way to the south.
Yeah. I'm trying a new app that allows me to stream to Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube simultaneously. The thing I hate about it is that although I looked on Alejandro's device and like it has like a few hundred people watching each, on here it shows 0 and it doesn't show me any of the comments. Not that I want to read the comments, but I like to know that it's actually working. So like with it like this, if it just stopped working on those, I would have no way to bother.
I have to get a new one.
Last
30 minutes just to upload.
We're all united.
Well, you're lucky. You're a photo guy. You have no idea how long this is. So I filmed
I do videos. It sucks.
I filmed earlier today. I was a cameraman on a freelance gig. I filmed an interview with the president of the World Bank, and
And impose the maximum penalty available. Three long. Prayerfully,
but I shot it in 4K, and it was a 40-minute interview, and so I have it uploading on my computer. As we speak, but at the time that I left, it said 4 hours remaining on the upload. So I sent the organization a folder link and said, this folder is currently empty, but check back in 4.5 hours and you'll find your video.
If you're lucky.
Sure.
When you think about how they actually done it, like black team, it's like I
Go take a look at the guy with the hands up. Feel free to join if you want.
and I even seen it on the news where
Anything interesting?
I don't know. I was coming over here because that guy had his hands up, and that was an interesting post. But then, any word on Twitter of people getting closer?
I'll check. You said it's a free trial.
2-week free trial. And then supposedly, well, actually, you know what? It didn't actually tell me this, but Andrew said that when the free trial is over, it's $100 a month. But I feel like they tried to not tell you the price as you buy it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that could be worth it.
But I think that if I go home tonight and see that this works, I will probably keep it.
This is it.
That other group isn't doing it.
I think they anticipated. Well, the guy that we had was fine. I heard he's back here.
What does Oracle say?
They just have this. Oh, actually, no. Something crazy. 5 minutes ago. You can speak 10 countdown.
So maybe they're trying to do something else.
Yeah.
Dang, it almost might have made sense to try to get there.
It's northbound on 15th Street, Pennsylvania, which would be.
Which way does it count? Is it west to east or east to west?
Well, that's 15th Street, which would mean that they're probably almost here.
Well,
Because this was teed up 5 minutes ago.
from 5th, they're not leaving from
Northbound
15th or from the highway?
Pennsylvania Avenue, which would be over there.
So There's a tweet that claims that they're on 15th Street, which would be like a block
the
away.
DC police account they're usually doing. So.
It calls them Group 1. So.
The only person that I've been following right now is the Cathedral. They're not living where they're at.
What time is it now? 9:03. Well, I mean, for the audience, we could just tour around. Like. Okay, so.
Why don't you want something good? You go through the art tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do that first.
So, all right, to the people who are watching here, as you can see, basically people are kind of just like, getting into arguments and stuff with the cops, but not a ton is going on. So I'm going to do quickly just like a little tour through the art tunnel. There's this kind of area outside the Chamber of Commerce, which is sort of there's like basically a little overhang, and so people have used this as the spot that they put up their art. That was what they were doing with the fence here outside the White House for most of the time over the last several weeks, but the fence was taken down and then it was put back up again, and now sans art. So let's just take a look at some of the art that people have put up in the zone here. Scratch that. Someone is calling me to say there's something to see. So I'm running back. Oh. Yep, the march has returned, it appears. Thanks.
I'm at the beach just still. My knees get weak and my tongue might go, but we gon' be alright. 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 We gon' be alright.
That's what I've been waiting for.
I don't talk about it, read about it, everything. If I got it, you know you got it. I can beat you. I rap, I'm black on tracks, so rest assured. My rights, no wrongs, I'm right till I'm right for God. You know, leaving earth been down before. Nigga, when I ride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go? Nigga, we ain't hopeful. When we get dead in the streets, for sure. Nigga, I'm in the beach, just go. My knees get weak, so I might go. But we gon' be alright. 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 Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. 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 Be alright. Be alright. We gon' be alright.
Whoa, what was my niece? Whoa. I'm good. Thank you.
This fence around the White House, thank you, I'm good, is 1.7 miles. And Trump's only built 3 miles of border wall. And he they keep saying we completed our 200th mile because there were already 197 miles there before we started. So homie built half of a wall in like 2 days to protect himself.
I would give you a high five.
You're fine. You're fine. Man, people itching.
I hit this one, sorry.
All of them, yeah?
The highlights, where you from? Now, how was you sleeping? Drop the album sign. I'm riding with me. I'm right for the shot. I'm right where I need it. The funny thing is, I'll always be single. I love me some low. I love me some decent. I never get even. The women is queens. I'm a drunk, I'm a demon. Heaven knows we dream. Listen to rising, she tell me always hope I can be that. I fell in love with an actress acting like she don't need me. Polarizing the sun. Underrated. No business will never love you the way you love it. Come and we go. They quick to forget. So every bougie event I attend, I tell them this. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yo. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap back.
So the thing I heard is that there's a much larger group that is basically at the highway, that have been blocking a highway, and that their intention is to come here, and leave that position at 9:30. So that would probably put them here around 10. So what happened just a bit ago is that, maybe a dozen new people who had been marching showed up here, but obviously that doesn't change the dynamic too much, to just have a few new faces who had been marching. So there's a lot of attention in right now, but nothing too provocative is going on. So I think what I'm going to do now is, while we're waiting on, the situation to change, let's take a look at the art wall. So again, as I was saying before, and now it's a little darker, before there had been a big wall of art there outside the White House, and after they took down that fence and then they put it back up, you know, all of the art is gone. So I did want my audience here to have a chance to see, you know, what sorts of things have been posted on this area. This area has not lost its art, you know, the same way that the fence had been taken down.
Oh, Z trying to be smooth. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to look.
You think you slick? Black Lives Matter.
So this area is the west end of the H Street kind of area of the White House. So specifically, it's the intersection of Connecticut and H Street. But so you can see how many back. I can get my perspective a little better. You can see how many police cars there are kind of on standby behind me there. But nothing's really happening, so the cops are just kind of hanging out right over there. So I'll head back into kind of the middle of the BHAZ and check it out. But again, to people who don't really know, what sort of happened here is that a few nights back, the police tried to take back this area. This area has been basically occupied by Black Lives Matter activists for the last few weeks, and they tried to take this back, and it ended up turning into sort of a fight. It re-escalated things, and that caused the police to re-erect the fence, and it caused protesters to begin calling this space the BHAZ, Black House Autonomous Zone, sort of a mix of the White House being the geographic area this is happening, and the concept of the Seattle Autonomous Zone combined. So anyway, there aren't that many people right now, probably about 100, but my understanding is that there was a satellite protest that went to block a highway, and that they're sort of on their way back here, and so I expect more people to be showing up probably in the next half hour, but we will see. You know, it's hard to know.
Because I remember that's what we were talking about.
Good. Just to tour the opposite side of the BHAZ and kind of get the situation layout on the record here, I guess you could say. Right now I'm walking eastbound on H Street, and you can take a look at basically the police have surrounded the St. John's Church, and so that's where you can see that there's this sort of cement barricading and then a line of cops and then the fence. On the other hand, the White House, it's just a fence. So they're doing a lot more for the church itself than for the White House. But let me rejoin now that I see some chanting going on.
No peace! No peace! No peace!
No peace! No peace! No justice! No peace! Black Lives Matter! 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 Trump! Trump! Trump!
On the, you know, on the way to heaven, Jesus.
Trump!
Jesus is the Messiah.
Yes, sir.
You're not the one to judge. You're not the one to judge. Black Lives So you don't worry about it. Everybody knows. You talking about Black Lives Matter. That's common sense. Ding dong. And you try to bring that bullshit. We know that. That's why you said this guy's not this guy's ignorant. But his word, everybody knows that. He's so stuck right now. You talking about like he's like actually just like this hard.
I'd like to interact with that, but I don't want to push it. This guy actually
You wanna preach the word? Find a church. Find a fucking church. Find a church. They still people money all day in the church. All they do is still put money in the community. They put any money in the community. Oh, you got it.
Stop centering yourself! Stop centering yourself! Stop centering yourself!
He's
Stop
saying
it!
no, 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 no! No, 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 no! Hey!
This kid thinks he's God.
No, 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 no! No, no, no! Hey! Goodbye! Hands up!
Don't shoot!
Hands up!
Don't shoot!
Hands up!
Don't shoot!
Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Black Lives Matter! 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 Black Lives Matter!
God love you. God love you.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hey!
God love you. Jesus died for everybody. Because he loves you so much. He shed his blood for you. He set you free. He set you free. He set you free. Why you have so much attention?
No justice! No peace! 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 No justice!
got the road, bro.
Justice in Jesus.
We can crowd surf you out of here.
Peace in Jesus
Crowd
Christ.
surf you out of here.
Only peace in Jesus Christ.
So if I started reciting Quran right now, if I started reciting Quran, how the fuck would you feel?
Yeah.
Why you not do that?
Because we're not here about religion, dog. When no one's here about religion, I'm not gonna shove my religion down people's throats. I'm here for Black lives.
Yes, sir. Amen. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter.
Yes, you're absolutely illiterate and can't fucking read. It says Black lives matter.
Doesn't matter if a person dies.
What
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
saying is I am consistently persecuted and
Yeah.
constantly targeted
Yeah.
for wearing a hijab.
Talk your shit.
But your bitch ass can come
Yeah.
here.
Talk your
and
shit.
praise your fucking God.
No peace.
Black Lives Matter protest? The fuck is that?
Oh.
Take it to the church. I bet the cops will let your white ass in.
Close.
I bet they will.
Exactly. Everything is closed if it ain't Black Lives.
Let's close.
What the fuck is you talking
So go
about?
to another church. Why the fuck are you here? You know exactly what the
Why
fuck
are you
you're
here?
doing.
Church is
And
not
you
the
have-
building.
You have a circle right here, and I know damn well there's all right-wing motherfuckers on taking pictures of me right now too. So fuck y'all as well, and you need to get your fucking ass out of here.
You're not dead. You're not dead. You get your shit clean right now. You get your shit clean right now. No. Hey. Goodbye. No. Hey. Goodbye. I don't hear you. No. Hey, shut your fat neck ass the fuck up and get the fuck out of
Jesus
here.
Christ is Lord. Jesus Christ is Lord.
Expose you.
2 nights in a row. Do not come back here.
Get out of here. Go, get out of here. Go, get out of here.
Jesus Christ is Lord. Who believe follow me? Jesus is the Lord. Believe follow me. If you believe Jesus Christ is Lord, follow me. If you believe that Jesus Christ is Lord, follow me. Thank you to follow me. Jesus Christ is Lord.
He's a paid actor. He's a fucking paid actor.
Jesus
No, he don't. He paid his life for you.
blood for you.
Because Jesus fucking hates you and Jesus knows exactly where you're going. So burn the fucking hell with your hate in your heart. Get the fuck out of here.
God should show you who you
I know
are.
you can't hold your Why am I angry? Oh, I'll tell you why I'm fucking angry. Because I'm hate in your heart is why I'm angry.
2 nights in a row, you've been in there. Didn't I tell you to go fuck yourselves last time?
Jesus loves you.
Now fuck it
I
up.
go. Why you come? You have to stand here. Yes, I go. You go back to your town. I'm going.
Walk faster. Walk faster. Stop turning around and fucking go. You know what this is called? The walk of shame. Get the fuck out. 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 I'll walk you all the way out. Get the fuck out. Don't you understand? Get the fuck out. Go.
Jesus loves you too, man.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
He died for you.
Go. Get out.
He
Get the
died
fuck
for
out of here. Get the fuck out of
you.
here.
He shed his blood for you. You know
Get the fuck out of
that.
here. Get the
He
fuck
shed
out
his
of
blood.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! If we When do we want it? When do we want justice? When do we want it? If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down.
Hope y'all feel good. When I say fuck, y'all say 12. Fuck, 12. Fuck, 12. Fuck, 12.
You got this white shit with that nasty ass dip in his mouth.
Look, they're walking away. Nicely.
Exactly who to protect,
But you shoot someone else.
who to protect, but it's not us. But it's not us.
They only care about their money.
You're gonna pepper spray
And they ain't got enough for that
because
either.
of a fucking statue, because we're out here fighting for people's lives.
If they're walking over there, can I walk over there?
And you're gonna escort them out.
Can I walk over there if they walk over there?
Make it make sense, bitches.
I can walk over
All
there.
I got is gas and I ate beans today, so I got
Hey
gas
guys,
too.
just letting you know she's allowing us to walk over there now.
And don't allow me to do shit. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
No, we can sit here when we want to put
You might as fucking well. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Black Lives Matter. 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 Whole street. Whole street. Whole street. Our street. Whole street. Our street. Whole street. Our street. Whole house. Our house. Whole house. Our house. Whole house. Our house. Whole house. Our house. Whole street. Our street. Whole street. Our street. Whole street. Our street. Whole street. Our street. Whole house. Our house. Whole house. Our house. Whole house. Our house. Whole house. Our house. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it, shut it down. 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 I got all those fucking
Follow me.
All you black officers should be ashamed of yourself. All you black officers should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself to be a brother in uniform. You should be ashamed.
Let me tell y'all this too.
That motherfucker ain't got your back.
And the fire
You take that, when you take that badge off, you don't give a fuck about you, and you know that. Oh, now you're gonna turn
You
it
don't
on.
even feel comfortable.
I know you don't feel comfortable because you're hearing the truth.
You don't even feel comfortable. If you was on this side, you'd be saying the same thing.
You saying the same
You be saying the same thing.
But
You
got
can't
a
even
job
look
to
at it.
do.
You looking over on the other side.
Because you hurt. You know the truth hurts.
Yeah.
You know the fucking truth hurts.
You one feet, come on, y'all.
And none of y'all got masks on. What the fuck going on?
I expect Colonel Bill to feel like this. I expect fucking Jason.
ain't worried about him.
I ain't worried about that.
But y'all two,
Y'all
that's
motherfuckers, that's
fucked
crazy.
up.
You a comedian. What they feed you? What they feed you?
You know he failing every PT test. He failing every PT test.
Hey, what? Hey,
He mad as shit.
I ain't faggot Claus, listen. We heard you for the first time.
But y'all should be ashamed, Mr. Frisson and Mr. Smith. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves, man. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Two brothers.
Y'all supposed to be out here fighting for us, man. I know that shit y'all doing is wrong. You know that shit.
I just tell you this, but they can't pay me for that. No amount of money. No amount of money, bro.
That's crazy.
Hey, I go watch this movie.
And when y'all take our badge off, do they still harass y'all too? When y'all take that badge off, did they harass y'all too? Or is it that's just a black thing?
Watch what happened. They were like,
I'm telling you, the minute y'all take that badge off, he not gonna distinguish you or cop in that.
serving and protecting their country. That's all I gotta say, y'all.
That's crazy. The minute you take that badge off.
Do y'all hold each other accountable for assets?
Of course they do.
No, they don't.
They hold each other. Look, I'm telling you, you know what they do? They look at each other. That's all they do. They look at the police. But the minute you take that badge off, he ain't no cop no more. And he know that.
You still black.
He know that.
What y'all gonna do when y'all kids
You should be black first.
They're not gonna be able to do nothing because they at work.
What they gonna do when their kids go through this shit?
They at work.
Y'all, in 40 years, when the kids look at the textbooks and they're like, yo, Daddy, Granddaddy, where were you when cops were killing people? Oh, you're gonna say, hey, I was one killing people.
Yeah, you let your colleagues kill people. Your own people. Your own people.
That's the best they give you. That's the best they give you.
And do y'all realize y'all don't follow Geneva Convention? Y'all know that?
You a pedophile.
You said you got rid of her a long time ago.
You a pedophile. Because you know damn well you a cop. Get away with it. Pedophile.
A lot of jobs where you gonna make a lot more too.
Exactly. 35,000 a year ain't shit.
Nah, they get 58 star no.
They waiting on pension.
Hey, I pay.
I make.
Touching everything.
I just want to know where that bag is. That's what I want to know. 40 years.
This shit's sick.
All this carbon monoxide.
This
Turn your
shit's
shit
sick.
off.
It ain't even like comfortable to do
Turn the
this.
car off.
That's the thing. This shouldn't even be comfortable.
That's 732.
Why you looking at that young woman so aggressive?
Why you so aggressive?
I got a question, right? I got a question. When you take this shit from Al, I know you got kids, right? If a cop kill you, how you gonna feel? How you gonna
He gonna back
feel?
up the officer.
hurt.
That's
That
what he's
shit
meant to
touching.
do.
How you gonna
He
feel?
gonna back up the police officer.
He won't know what to say.
That's what they told to do.
Yeah.
That's what they told them. It's
They kill your
indoctrination.
kid.
They're indoctrinated. They don't even get proper
Yeah,
training.
your first bird. Your first bird. If the cop killed your kid, how
He
you
doesn't even
gonna
know what
feel?
de-escalation of force means. Because they
How
don't
you
have
gonna
any
feel?
MPD. They don't have any
That's how we
de-escalation of
hurt
force.
right now.
Hey, Mr. Frisky.
That's how we
What's the
hurt.
de-escalation of force in MPD? You don't know, right? Hey, Mr. Smith, what's the de-escalation of force for MPD?
Yeah, just think about it.
Y'all don't know.
Yeah.
Because when the motherfucker turn their back on you, you do not fuck them up. You do not shoot them.
You just had to shoot him from up because you had a
You only
job.
take your firearm out when
Or
you
you got
intend
a
to kill.
family. You got a family. So if your cop kill your kid,
Which
how
I
you
ain't nothing
gonna
but a
feel?
house niggas. That's all y'all is, house niggas.
That's how we feel right now.
Quit your job now. You can make
Put
more money
yourself
doing
in
something
our
else.
position.
You can start a
This
business.
is a job that you got.
A
But
job
we
ain't
hurt.
nothing but work.
Yeah, but we hurt. We hurt. We are hurt.
And you knew too. You haven't even been on the force that long. You knew. That's the crazy part. You ain't got no
Hey, girls,
stripes.
put the mask on.
You got your mask right there.
I have masks in my backpack, y'all.
You knew too. You haven't even been on the force that long.
And make sure you put some COVID
I
in
got
that
a mask.
motherfucker.
You already got it, boy. They don't got masks.
Y'all need some hand sanitizer or some masks?
That all be like, I got you. You want one?
Y'all want some food? Y'all hungry? I know y'all want to go home.
Y'all tired?
Nah, fuck that. Y'all want some freedom?
Yeah, y'all stepped in the black brother.
You want a mask? I got them in my bag.
For 8 minutes on the back. The brother can't even breathe.
Of the citizens, you
They can't even breathe.
curb to protect.
You think that's fair? You think that's fair? Put yourself in that same situation and think about it. That's why I say, take this off and listen. And put yourself in that position.
Bro, you can't ask him about their mask if you ain't got yours on.
That's
Yeah. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter!
Go back! No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter!
You know what? And I stand like actual bullying of like actual people, but I can see why folks do it. At least if they deserve it. Truancy / curfew enforcement. Really young.
Oh my god, that old cop was like the stereotype of like a boomer. It's just like he just had such incredible boomer energy. I'm sure my audience heard that. At least like, you know, people listening, I can't see your comments, so if y'all are mad at me, it doesn't matter.
Like an actual march, or they just?
No, I think they're no. I think they're circling back to the.
Our street! 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 Our house! 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 Our street! 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 Our house! 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 What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Our house! Our house! Our house! Our house! No KKK, no fascist USA! No Trump! 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 No KKK, no fascist USA! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
Black
Now!
lives matter! Black lives
Come on, you pig! Come on!
Let's go, yeah.
Excuse me. Can I get past you, brothers? I'm so sorry about that. I want to get up there.
He's just on his way.
Now we good. How do you think these signs got up here?
I think so many people have climbed up by now. It's full of coronavirus.
Let's go.
I'd just be so scared of heights.
I mean, yeah, you get back down as
No, it's easy getting up, but the getting down without like slipping.
All right, I'm gonna do something real quick, but I need everybody to repeat after me so that whole building shakes. All right? It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other.
We must love each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
I need y'all to be louder. That was real weak. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other and support each other.
We must love each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 Yo!
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ty. I'm part of a group called Concerned Citizens DC. And we first started coming out here to these protests because what we realized was that we have people here that care. We have people here that are genuinely invested in change. Not just the cute shit, not just the trendy shit, but literally being here right now, when it's no longer the cool thing to do, right? Being here because we care. Being here because we don't want to have to be here at some later point in time. So I don't know if you guys have been watching locally, because when we talk about defunding police, while we are situated here in DC, so the conversation is national and local, we also got to think locally. And so as a Washingtonian, I'm thinking locally. I just scanned through the public safety budget, and what I saw, and this is just a cursory reading of it because there's 330 pages of it, but I saw that MPD had $280,000 for ballistic shields.
What?
$280,000 for ballistic shields.
That's more than my fucking net worth, dude.
$280,000 for ballistic shields.
You said that's where my tax dollars are going? That's crazy.
Our tax dollars are going to MPD being able to play Call of Duty out here in our streets.
Yeah, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here with that shit.
And the thing for me is, I was born and raised in this city. Born and raised in this city, from Southwest to Uptown. And what I can tell you is that I know endless elementary schools that can use that $280,000.
Goddamn right! Goddamn
I know endless middle schools that can use that $280,000.
You goddamn right!
I know rec centers that can use that $280,000. After school programs that can use that $280,000. And so, I give you guys that figure to humanize this argument. When we say defund the police, it is a refund to the people. And I constantly say this everywhere I go because of all the absurd shit that they buy that doesn't serve us, that doesn't protect us. That $280,000 could have been an investment into the community. And that's only one line item, y'all. Like I said, the thing is 330 pages. Millions of dollars worth of spending. Millions of dollars worth of spending that is wasted.
Enough is enough.
They work for us.
Enough is enough.
See, at some point in time, there was a disconnect. Because you see these elected officials, they forgot that they work for us. We said we want police reform. We said we want substantive change. They say, okay, we'll give you a sign. We'll give you a street sign.
What the fuck
They're trying to do it all across the country. We'll give you a street sign.
That's it.
Like what?
Meanwhile, we're getting tear gas on the same goddamn streets that bear out that Black Lives Matter. We're being shown in very real time that Black lives don't matter. And that locales, that governments, that elected officials aren't doing anything to make them matter in this moment in time.
Let them stop attacking us.
What then does that leave us to do?
Stop attacking us.
What then does that leave us to do? Are we supposed to be settled about this America?
No.
Are we supposed to be settled about this America?
No.
Are we supposed to accept this shit?
No.
Is this something that you want your kids to grow up in?
No.
That's why we're out here, y'all. That's why we're out here. And the thing is, our house, our streets, our house. Now listen, y'all. This is a fight that is much bigger than just police brutality.
Yes.
Right?
Use of power.
And that's George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the initial killings that convicted us to hit the streets. Right? But it's so much more than just police brutality. It's about an America that has never served black people.
Yo.
I think that's good.
It is about an America that has oppressed us every way that it could. Elementary, middle schools, high schools, disservicing us, throwing us into this chain of no future. The criminal justice system
Making us feel it's less than.
that takes us in and leaves us worse off than we came, right? Only to then criminalize us when we get out by leaving us out of substantive employment, by leaving us out of opportunity, right? We're fighting the idea of all that America has not been to this point, y'all. And you see, that doesn't just end at police not fucking with people that look like me. It's about fundamentally revisiting our values. Why are women not getting paid the same in 2020, right? See, that's right now, and that's why I said, I want you guys to start a conversation about all the shit you want to change. It's not enough just to want to change one thing.
It's all connected.
We are on the doorsteps of a revolution. If you're going to ask for something, ask for everything. If you're going to ask for everything. Because like I said, body cameras, police reform doesn't make sure that my brilliant sister who just led in the Sonic gets paid the same as I do to do the same job. And that is a problem for me. And that is a problem for me. We are fighting the inadequacies of this America for everyone. For everyone. Because justice for some is not justice at all. In any context. And that doesn't just look like policing. It's education. It's employment. It's all of these things that would help us to realize the American dream. And if we're not ready to attack all of these things in this moment, in this season right now, it is a wasted exercise. Yes. We are kicking the can down the road to be upset about some shit 5 years later. Yes. 2 years later, 1 year later, a couple months later even. Right now, this crowd is thinner than it has been in past days, right? But I see everybody locked in. And all it ever took was a dedicated few to make things happen. All this moment needs right now is for you guys to care and to keep caring and to make that care contagious. Because right now our timelines are getting uncomfortably normal again. Sure. Right? So I saw a dude just post a selfie and shit on my timeline. I'm like, people are dying, man. They're hanging people. You know, it's not the time for that. We're watching as Breonna Taylor is getting turned into quirky memes, right? Like she's not a dead black woman, right? And it's like, I don't want us to lose sight of all of what this energy is.
You gotta stop talking back there.
I don't want us to lose sight of all of what this moment is. Like I said, we started our group because we saw an abundance of energy here, but it wasn't concentrated. It wasn't concentrated, and unconcentrated energy doesn't really yield too many results. You can make a splash here, you can make a splash there. Nice little viral video there, nice little... But when we talk about the long-standing change that we want, it's this. It's this. I look around in this crowd and I see so many different faces, so many different races, you know, and that's what it will take, a coalition. Because to my white allies that are out here in this crowd right now, you guys have the privilege to open doors that I can't. Open them for me. Open them for me. We're ready to be in those rooms. We're ready to be there, and so, like I said, we're pushing for policy, right? But that's only one half of it. It's only one half of it. And the point that I bring up is that Eric Garner was in New York City when NYPD had an anti-chokehold policy, and he died from what?
Chokehold.
He died from what?
Chokehold. No accountability.
So what I'm saying is, policy will not be what saves us. That's only but one piece of the gestalt. Another part of it is empathy. Understanding that we need you. Like Martin Luther King said, laws can't stop the white man from hating me, but it can stop him from hanging me. So maybe I can stop the hangings. But we have to be intellectually honest about the fact that there is a deep-seated history of hatred in this America. People that look like me were once property. And people that look like you there are some, not all, but some that cannot be removed from that notion, that people that look like me were once property. There's a deep divide that we have to heal. But that's going to require intention on both sides of that bridge. And the thing is, black people have had the intention, because all that looks like is us trying to get into the door. Do you understand? When society integrated, it wasn't an even mixing. Black people got accepted into a white world, and we've been playing with your rules. You own the banks, you own the grocery stores, you own everything. We are at your disposal in this America. We've had the willingness to come to the table. It's been you guys that hasn't. And it's why justice systems look the way they do. It's why prisons look the way they do. It's why voter suppression looks the way it does. Intentional systemic racism. It was even to the point where today I saw a picture somebody shared on Twitter of where they had the bikes for a bike share company, and how that was divided in Brooklyn, and how there was almost an invisible line right when the population started to get black.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say understand it is bigger than policing. It is about an America that was designed to be against us.
Hey, it's like that DC
and until we revisit every facet of that America, we're just waiting for another disservice. Maybe it doesn't look like police brutality. Maybe it's, you know, the Starbucks people calling the cops. You know, maybe it's we have all of these different instances where it's like it doesn't matter until we are intentional about planning for black people in this America. It won't reflect the reality that is peaceful for people that look like me, for people that look like Alea. And I know that there are some people that have the rage that I have in my heart, but they're less articulate, right? They're less articulate. But I don't want you to discount their rage. I don't want you to discount their rage. Because that rage comes from a place of feeling like they or their loved ones could be the next ones to be brutalized by this America. That rage comes from the fact that those that are least privileged are those that are the most brutalized by this America. And so, I implore you all tonight, if nothing else, to keep this energy going.
Yes.
To keep this energy going.
We're not going to stop till it's done. Go.
Because we are not done.
And never will be.
We are not done.
Yes, sir.
We need justice to be served for Breonna Taylor.
Yeah. Number one.
We need justice to be served for George Floyd.
Yeah.
We need justice to be served for all of these names. I mean, you guys, it's crazy because in the time since we came out here protesting police brutality, there's been a plethora of names that have come up. A plethora of victims. Some from current times, some from years back. We're seeing now that this isn't something that just started happening. We just started seeing it. And I oftentimes think to myself, in a world where all of this sort of digital activism that we knew came around, like Trayvon and smartphones, what the hell was happening before? What was I in the dark about when I was in elementary school thinking that we were on this pathway to this new America, right? That they promised me when we watched Our Brother Malcolm in 2nd grade. And they told me all that wicked shit was over. and they told me that it was going to be safe for me to raise my kids, right? When Barack Obama got elected, you remember the conversations they were having? Are we in a post-racial America? Are we there? Obviously not, right? And you see, I think that Barack Obama's election really stirred up a lot of racial tension. It reminded America that somebody who once could have been property was at the highest seat in the nation. It stirred up some discomfort because for the first time in America's history, somebody that was other than was occupying that space right here behind us. And what I want to say is that we no longer can continue to do the America that we've been doing. We're here begging for a new America. We're here begging for one that serves all of us. When the founding documents of this America were written, women were second-class citizens. Minorities were second-class citizens. If you don't believe that in light of that context that we have some things to revisit, I implore you to do some more soul searching.
Get yourself some glass.
Like I said, the initial vision of the framers was flawed. It was flawed. Foundationally, it delivered us now to a point where we can revisit our values collectively as these Americans now in this crowd in 2020. And so, like I said, I just want you guys to keep the energy going.
Sir.
Yes. Keep the energy going. Don't let up. Because you see, what happens is we get almost there. We're like 99% there on the revolution, and then we just give up because we thought we did it. Get to the other side of the hill, y'all. We have so much work to do. We have so much work to do. But I know that we can do it together. There's so many other things you guys could be doing right now. So many things. Yet, you're choosing to be out here under the call of my voice, under the call of other voices who are convicted by the fight for justice, because you understand that it's a fight worth fighting. That it's a good fight. We've walked miles. Yesterday, 17 miles. The day before that, 20. Like, miles.
Let's keep it going.
Miles. And we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop. We've disrupted traffic. Yesterday, we disrupted 395.
I was there.
We stopped 395. With his mission organization, we stopped 395.
It's going to happen again.
And you see, the thing is,
Again and again.
people were looking on the side like, man, these people are really inconveniencing us. We stopped for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And it's like, look, that's a minor inconvenience
for life
in comparison to the major inconvenience of these sons and daughters that will never come back to be able to hug their moms, their fathers, their sons, their daughters, their wives, their husbands. For all due respect, fuck your minor inconvenience.
But whatever means necessary. But whatever means necessary.
Not even Jeff Bezos' money can reanimate these sons and daughters that are gone. You can get your time back, man. You're not in a rush. You're not going nowhere. It's coronavirus. You feel me? You don't got shit to do. But I want to live. And I will hold up your day if it gets you to get that message that I want to live. I'm tired of having to come out here and qualify my existence. I'm tired. I'm tired of having to come out here and qualify my existence. I'm tired of somebody that looks like me or looks like my sister having to die before everybody gets a collective conscience about my life mattering and shit. Because I knew it before somebody died. It's time that this world reflects that our lives matter. It's not enough to say it, show it. Show it. And so that's why when we called on cities across this nation for mandatory civilian review boards, we're asking for them to give us all of the things that would show us that our Black Lives Matter. Accountability.
Yes, sir.
Accountability is what will show us that our Black Lives Matter. Because you see, right now, a cop could come gun me down right here. Get paid death duty.
Not today.
And get paid death duty. And you see, we think about police brutality so often in the context of deaths, but there are so many victims of police brutality that don't die. That don't die, but they're forever scarred, forever changed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You guys, I appreciate you guys for listening, because I'm looking left, right, scanning left and right, and I see people listening intently, and I think that that's the beginning of it, right? Us listening to each other. Not even just listening to me, because I say this all the time, no one person will get us to where you need to go. No one person will be the be-all, end-all for this revolution. It is us. This is the strength of this moment right now. It's us. Other than that, I'm just a guy with a yellow hoodie in front of the White House on a loudspeaker, right? It's us. This moment is something because of us. Because of us. And so, as we are moving forward with this future that we're forging together, I just want you guys to, like I said, look to your left, look to your right, look in front, look behind, and understand that is somebody just as capable of creating this change as you are, right? Because all too often, somebody with the loudspeaker lends themselves to this exceptionalism that they're the only one that can do it. And that's not the case. This is all of us. This is all of us. We all got it. The power is going to be the fact that we can all do it. This revolution is stronger, is different, because it didn't take a bunch of politicians or a bunch of policymakers or a bunch of concerned citizens. We realize that this America is fundamentally wrong. Yeah. That is fundamentally wrong, and that if we're going to be buying into a system with our tax dollars, at least let us get some shit out of it. Right. You know? That's it. And like you said, they are afraid of this unity. Yes. They are afraid of this unity, man. They are afraid of this unity because it represents the kind of change they can't control.
Yeah.
You see, old power was the power that existed within one person. A Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X. And you kill that one person and the movement is dead. But you see, this paradigm of new power, it exists within the people. It exists within the people. You cannot kill us all. And for that reason, this revolution will not die. Thank you very much.
What's your name? Wait, are you on? What? Ty. Very eloquent. Hey, much respect, man. You had something to say.
What was that organization called again? And are y'all on social?
I'm about to say, so our organization is called Concerned Citizens DC. So on Instagram, Concerned Citizens DC. On Twitter, Concerned of DC. Tomorrow we're gonna be out here. We'll be meeting up at the Chase Bank at 6:30, and then we'll start our 14th in New York, and then we'll start our procession from there. Typically stop here, just to give a little bit of a rallying cry to whoever's around, and then we continue our march procession. But thank you guys for being out here with us tonight. Tomorrow, I hope you guys come out as well.
Fuck yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Ty.
Oh, there he is. Oh, word. I was like, oh, they went out somewhere the whole time, bro.
We're still out here. As you guys can see, there's a barricade now around the entire cathedral.
You're supposed to be asleep, motherfucker. You're literally supposed to be in bed. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'm literally gonna take off my belt.
I recorded the whole thing beginning to end in HD. I think I might post the whole beginning to end on YouTube as its own video. All right. I feel like I'll kind of do a final tour around. I feel like this is kind of fun. Yeah.
You're not doing that with Really, really do your work, man.
Oh, thank you. That was nice. Someone just came up and said, I really dig your work, man. So that's cool. Anyway, I wanted to just kind of, now that, there might be some new people watching relative to the last time I did this, so I just wanted to kind of do a quick tour of the BHAZ right now. So as might be obvious, behind where that was, right? So this is the White House, obviously. And so before there was this fence for a few weeks, and then it had been taken down as things were pretty much de-escalating. And then a few nights ago, as this community kind of continued to exist, the police basically tried to take it back over. They wanted to clear open the street here again. Nobody had been able to drive through this spot for a pretty long time, for like a month now. So the police tried to clear it out, and things re-escalated, which is what caused them to set this fence back up. And the activists ended up spray painting BHAZ, Black House Autonomous Zone, onto St. John's Church here. And this is the same church that Trump did the holding the Bible thing at, right? So that's why the police are taking sort of, you know, basically guarding that even more than the like White House. So there's basically a round of a cement barricade followed by a line of cops, and then a fence sort of like the one in front of the White House, and that's all around just the St. John's Church. So earlier when I was here, it was a lot of protesters kind of yelling at the police line, you know, arguing with the cops, things like that. I haven't seen any violence tonight, but the last 2 nights there have been pepper balls and flash grenades. Tonight, my impression is that kind of thing's probably not going to happen. But anyway, so what we just saw was a pretty long speech being given that attracted a lot of attention. So now we'll see kind of what the vibe is now that has, you know, separated out a little bit. So it could be more marching, or it could just kind of you know, wind down for the night soon. But we'll stay live and we'll take a look.
That's it.
How late are you staying, Alfredo?
I don't know. It's very small, so it's not interesting. I don't know if there is one for the people.
I think a lot of people seem to have taken tonight as the break, because the next 3 nights have like really coordinated action, and the last 3 nights have been action-packed. So I feel like this is the night that if someone wanted to take a break, they would.
You heard about those people that they were blocking the 95? I heard last thing that they were going to the 3rd Street, but that was 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago? Yeah, I wonder if they just sort of dispersed from there. I don't know.
You're right.
I think, because yeah, we saw them on the like monitor thing. There's like an it's like a Twitter account that somebody had that had like live like map type deal, and like it did still exist as of like a couple hours ago. But I can't if it would take 2 hours to get back, then I'm guessing like
I'm like college for sure.
Talking with someone, they say mostly the action starts at
11:30.
The past few nights was at that time.
Wow. Hi. Right. You know each other, right?
I believe we saw.
Pretty sure we do.
I've obviously seen you ever.
Alfredo.
Alejandro.
Uruguay. So what do you think?
Yeah, you know, just walking around. I think tomorrow's going to be a lot longer.
I have a hard time imagining it tonight.
I just heard they are going to gather somewhere around here close to New York. So there is tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, that was the guy. So that guy, I think that's separate from the one that we had talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So maybe they end up combining, but I'm gonna reach for the DuPont.
But
I think the DuPont one's good. This guy seems much more like a moderate. Yeah, it sounds like there's 2 different markets they're having. They could end up.
7 o'clock there is one. It's a Lincoln Park.
Not anymore. That's no, it's delayed to Friday. Lincoln Park is Friday.
Oh, okay. This is one. Thanks for the. I was planning on tomorrow. They said Thursday I was planning.
I mean,
Yeah, I do feel like.
But these I have this. I have a
organized flying, like nobody really has a plan.
Are you still alive, Alfred? Are you still alive?
I just started because they keep asking me what's going on. So let me send you.
You just started?
Yeah.
You haven't been live yet?
No.
Oh.
I don't think it's gonna be live.
That's fine. I've been live for an hour and a half. I still am right now. I tweeted exactly once. You tweeted once? Tweeted once. How much else to talk about?
So if I'm in,
I feel like the second I turn off the live, I'm actually live.
prioritize anyone else in my life, and I think relationship expect.
Wait, Let's send him a selfie. Send him a selfie of us together.
Held me down for way longer than I've known you. And like keeping them close and forcing me, and so I'm not gonna like forget about them. So I think that's like fine. I have lots
I
of
would have just replied, but you can DM it to me. Sure.
It's like the one person I might talk to. I guess the way I see it.
You, me, Tim, someone. Oh, are you?
Try to figure out whose camera this is.
Hey, good, yo. That's a smart dude. Hey, one of these cameras ain't us, bro.
Well, he's not gonna find it because mostly there's a delay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of these three. It has to be one of these.
But they're saying there's a delay.
Yeah, Facebook live feed, right?
I'm live on Twitter. I can show you my Twitter.
No, you're good.
It's a Facebook feed. One of you guys are streaming. One of these guys are right.
It could have ended though already. You could be watching a live feed that had ended too.
No, that's live, brother.
What I'm saying, some people go
He's at
live.
this corner and he's looking at you.
Not them, dude. Tim, dude. It's not him, I waited.
Oh no, it's not him. It's the guy behind him, dude. Because you can see that camera.
Yeah, but I've been inside this whole time.
No, that's him.
It has a delay when you put your hand.
Yeah, it takes a bit.
No, but you did it yourself.
When I was watching the live feed, I did it.
No. See, look, he's looking.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still watching. You know what I mean? Like, he's still, even if there's a delay, I go in front of you, I'm still watching it.
Wait, but if you keep going.
No. Watch it. There you are, dude. There you are.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Can I see the page that you?
Somebody is what's that?
You think someone's restreaming your thing? Can we see the?
One of these cameras ain't us, bro.
Yeah.
I'm streaming to 3 places right now. One of these is mine, but I'm not right wing. My outlet is called News to Share. This is.
Can you tell your viewers? Can you tell your viewers that they're messing up, man?
So my shit. Look how many people are.
1.6, dude.
Can I just show you something?
You got 1.6 people watching.
Yeah.
You have a moral obligation to tell them that we are not fucking shit. Come on, brother. Please.
Yeah,
Just flip the camera on you, man.
Yeah. Okay, I have it faced at me right now. Seriously, I want to talk about
Stay calm in your conversation,
I'm streaming right now to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. On my end, I can see zero. Sorry, I don't want to be filming. On my end, I can't see any comments, but often like trolls end up sharing my shit. Right?
Can you tell these trolls that? Can you?
Right now, like abolish DC, abolish MPD. Like,
no, we just found out this is live.
On Twitter, you'll see they're all.
I know, but you have the means of switching this for all these right people, dude. Like, hey, what's going on with you? It's good to see you. Come on, brother. Please, man. I'm asking you, man. I'm asking you,
My
man.
outlet's called News to Share. It's an
I know you want to be neutral in this, but this isn't right, dude. There's a bunch of cowards on your feed that are fucking it up.
Again, probably some right-wing person shared it.
Can I talk to you for a second? Okay. So here's the thing with Facebook live feeds. So I search for live feeds all day for this stuff, right? If I were to search in, what did you set up the title of
I have it as 3 places. So I have it on Twitter at Ford Fisher.
What's the title of the description of the live feed?
It's like live at the
White House. So it's an easy search. So half the people watching this shit right now, he doesn't have control over it.
Right.
It's okay. If you don't want to say it, I can say it. Come on.
Yeah.
Is there something that you want to say? I don't want to film you without your consent, but if you want me to... Okay. Is there something you want to say? I have it on you now if you want to.
It's cool.
If there's something you want to share with
all
them.
those people that are behind their computers.
Literally on mine it says 0 live. Like I can't actually see your
that think that it's okay to pop off on the internet and think that we won't see it. Y'all stay behind your computers, you closet racists. We're not scared of you.
It's his camera.
No. If it said news to share, that
It's not
you
your camera.
can see on my cred.
But
This
it's not
is-
your camera.
It's him.
It's you. You're the one filming him.
As long as you're not
You're-
standing or fuck.
No, fuck no.
Hey, brother, are you filming?
No,
I'm sorry.
fuck the mainstream
I'm
media.
sorry.
No, it's
No,
okay.
yeah,
Seriously.
bro.
No, but
No, he doesn't. He doesn't shift the camera on himself. It's him.
Your camera wasn't you, right?
Did you face the camera on yourself?
This is me.
Yes, I know it's you, but that's not your camera facing you.
I have there's two cameras running right now.
Okay.
Do you I'm sorry, that might have been what was confusing.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
so-
all the cameras can really get it if you are a closet racist, if you are a coward that's not on the street and you're just popping off on the internet, we're not scared of you, man. You can even out numbers. We're not scared of you, man. We're not gonna tell him, bro. Just tell him.
99% of these protesters right now are very peaceful. Everybody here is here because we want change. We're not here for violence.
We're not.
We're responding to unaccounted violence that has happened for decades since this country has been formed. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, if you're from a different country or an expat of your own nation, you're here because you're in pursuit of happiness and freedom. And nobody should be stunted from that regardless of where they come from, what their generation is, what their bloodline is, their gender, how they choose to live in private. What's going on right now is the media is taking just a few bad apples and exemplifying them and getting the media to turn the public opinion about the protesters negative as what they are doing. Not only do they fuel fear with the whole coronavirus thing, they're fueling you to fear protest.
And if
we do not riot. We are not coming to your neighborhood if you are a citizen. The only neighborhoods you'll see us marching in is through Congress. The ones that need to get up off of their asses to make the change that we need to see. And technically right now, there should be no rest for any person in Congress until they get their asses up and enact change. That is exactly why they're in office and they get paid through our tax dollars. So technically what we have right now is an entire America that has taxation without representation. That is the whole premise of the revolution from Great Britain. So they have stuck United States citizens right back in the same situation. The reason why we have the Constitution is to protect us just from this. As bad as the forefathers may have been, they still understood the concept that somebody may want to rise and violate the rights of this nation. It does not take long for power to rise, especially when it's coordinated, especially when you have the ability to fire and hire loyalists. It's not just Trump. Trump is the long, disfigured fruit at the end of a rotten branch. Is exactly what he is. If this country was any good, he would have been kicked out of the race before he became president. As would Hillary, as would Biden, as would most of the politicians that we see right now not doing a damn thing that is worthwhile. The country is sick of incremental change. There's a lot of common sense laws that could be passed, and it would make everybody feel a lot more ease to just go to bed at night.
Hey, look, if you got something negative to say online, I promise you guys have not been here. You have not been down to this protest. So keep popping off behind your keyboards. We're not scared of you.
What would be your message to those, right-wing keyboard warriors, right? That's kind of why you came over.
This is about humanity. This is all about humanity. If you want to get outside your right bubble, look around the world right now. Up until we had our quarantine, the entire world was up in protest against their own governments. You know why? Because they're even more oppressed than we are. But you know what they do when they see us in pain? They still feel it too. They rose to the streets against their quarantine orders, against high numbers of deaths from this COVID pandemic. They still took to the streets. You know why? Because at the end of the day, this nation actually does inspire the rest of the world. Everybody that has not lived here still believes there's an American dream. And then when they see us bow down, it discourages the whole rest of the world. Understand, being an American citizen comes with responsibility. It's not just about living your life free. You have a responsibility for your neighbor, for your sisters, for your brothers and sisters across the ocean, which the only reason why they're not next to us is there's a fucking ocean between us. But we feel them. Protesting is a part of the human experience. There's never been a time in history where people have not been oppressed by those in power. And those in power have never given up their power because we have asked them nicely. We do not want violence.
Right.
We do not want bloodshed.
Right.
We do not want destruction. We want common sense laws. We want to be able to inhabit this earth the same as those who wield the power and influence. We want the same damn opportunities. We don't want gentrified neighborhoods. I don't want to wake up and have to feel like I'm not doing enough because of my own damn skin color. I don't want my kids to feel the weight of this. I don't want your kids to feel the weight of this.
Yep.
How long does it have to go on? How long until you keep denying people their own humanity until they can take no more?
Do you want to talk about the value of taking physical space as opposed to typing your comments about this, or calling your congressman, being physically here? Why that matters? Yeah.
Until you come out here and feel what this is actually about.
Don't go off of Fox News.
Yeah, seriously.
You are in your own bubble.
You guys all watch Fox News, every single one of you.
Stop going off
It's not just Fox News. It's
Yes,
where they grew up. People don't get out of their small towns. You need to travel the world. You need to connect with people. Stay within your own groups, and the only people that only agree with you will never help you grow as a person and a human being. I have so many people that I may disagree with this or that about, but I tell you what, I will never violate their humanity.
Is that a serious question?
Hey,
I was saying talk about the value of it. I wasn't trying to.
There's people that are watching that are right.
Okay,
Maybe my sister speak on that, please.
right-wing conservatives?
No. He saw that apparently on one of the places my feed's gone. There's a lot of conservative people commenting.
There's a bunch of people popping up.
It's a public
that have never been here.
Anybody's allowed to join this right now.
Probably some right-wing page shared it or something.
It's a balance, right?
So
my name is Christopher Ash.
All right. Whoever y'all, you asked about the typing. First of all, it doesn't make a difference unless, I know for me, it doesn't, unless you're famous or something. Unfortunately, now I normally leave at a certain time today. All I know is that I'm here, I've been wanting to get my voice out, and I know when I tried to put my grievances on social media, it didn't go, even to my friends. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work. Unfortunately, when people see a spectacle is when people pay attention. I mean, it just is what it is. Just, I don't know who this feed is going to, but I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. I mean, I'm just saying it like this. For people to call my generation and the younger generation like spoiled and all that, I'm 32 years old. I have a degree. I have a job. I work very hard for what I've gotten. How can we be spoiled when we're out here risking our jobs and all that to be out here? It makes us spoiled. Right, our lives. Exactly. So the people out here in this older generation that's saying that, I don't know where they're getting it from. They need to stop. And like he said, I've been saying this all week. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm not here being violent. That's not what I'm doing. Be careful out here, all right? No problem. Sure, I'll be getting out here soon. Thank you for looking out for me, man. I mean, I'm not here being violent. And like I said, I know Fox News is running that propaganda. You know what I mean? And then people are not, they're going to understand the media doesn't report. They feed propaganda. They don't report. Reporting is, this is what's happening. When they start running the script and reading off the teleprompter and all that, that's propaganda. So I don't know what audience, I don't know who y'all are, but at the end of the day, I know why I'm here. And unfortunately, this is continuing to
You know what we've been doing. That ain't scary.
Everybody has to wait to get their voice out. I can keep on talking. I wish they was just going to photobomb you.
Because the reporters that are for the right wing, as I know, they're not in here. They're not with their computer, like their cameras and all that shit. They're not out here in the front, right here. They're not talking to the actual people.
No, they're not.
They're all the way fucking down there talking about this is what's going, but you're not here.
Right, they just stand there and they explain it in their own words.
They already fucked down there.
They've been walking down, pacing down there all fucking day. When they open the fucking yellow tape.
Do you mind if I film you as you're talking?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when we came down here and they opened this, then the fucking newspaper was there.
Right.
And they just popped the fuck up and hide on one of them little corners and set shit up. Like, what the fuck? If you want somebody to see your face, come where everybody at. Don't sit the fuck down there. And then people want to know why tweets coming up.
think
Yeah, it's crazy. They've been doing this throughout the day, though.
And that's been the problem
Ever since they opened this fucking street.
That's why I had to ask who y'all
Let us
were.
speak for ourselves.
We have to warn the youth of the dangers of media right now. Because too often or not, even we're all guilty of it. Let's not say we're all not throwing stones in a glass house. We've read a story, we've read only the damn title of it, and we've assumed exactly what had happened and formed our opinions before we clicked on the damn link and read actually what happened. We all need to take the time to learn the context of every situation that we would like to have an opinion on. And that's what the news does not give you. The news takes context and spins it. You will not get the feed of what happened prior to the fight. You get the feed of only the fight happening.
You see the image looping over
and then you get the titles of what happened, and then everybody takes it from there before you actually have any real knowledge of what you are talking about. This is not just Fox News. This is
kind of all the cable news is like that.
And now we have the internet news stations. We have a flood of misinformation. And it is doing nothing but dividing the entire country.
I mean, that's why I had to, like I said, ask who y'all with. Now, whoever out there, conservatives, whatever y'all are, listen. At the end of the day, all right, I'm gonna say it like this, and then I'll be quiet, and I'll come back to photobomb me or somewhere. Like, if you take each point of view and put it together, you're more likely to get the truth than the one-sided thing. And that's what, like I said, we don't have reporters anymore. Even local news, they don't report. They get an image, we got what we want, they go to their
yeah, they show up quick and leave. Usually these local networks,
You have to plug
they're here
in
for like 20
multiple
minutes.
sources.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to take it upon you. It is your responsibility as a citizen of the United States of America to keep yourself informed. It is not the media's job. It is not your friend's job.
Do not get your information from the news. They're not informing you. And like I said, and then with y'all, I don't know if y'all going to split what the hell I'm saying right now. All I know.
I'm live. You can you can see I've been live for an hour and 40.
Cool. Okay.
So I mean, since I'll see you out, I guess I shouldn't shake hands because of COVID. I'll do this. I mean, for me, since I'll be out here, more. Like I just try to live stream beginning to end. So I
was just trying to explain. You cannot control who goes into your live feed.
Yeah, no, I know. And people could easily come in and take like the worst 15 seconds of this or something like that.
In the group to self-police and report people.
So it's unfortunate, but at least you know that the original thing is complete. Like literally, someone could see all 2 hours that I've been out here so far. So I appreciate you talking to me.
The live feeds are the best thing.
Yeah,
it's not the video captured in which you can just put
especially
this and put that, put a tile above it, and then it appears this way. That's creating a story.
Do you have something to add?
Creating a narrative. That's not
I don't
news.
know what this is going to, but I just want to say that people in power say that the looting started because it's civil. They call looting civil unrest, like Anderson Paak says. They call it civil unrest, but then when a guy's being killed in the street, they sleep completely fine. They don't fucking care that little kid gets shot for playing with a fake gun. George Floyd's being choked out for like 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Nobody cares, but they care when we riot in the streets and we cause trouble in the streets. And I just think that's really fucking privileged. I think it comes from a really privileged pedestal where you just think like they're just crazy people looting and screaming in the street to the point where Trump has to put a fence up. Oh no! But for real, like, people are getting shot for their skin color, murdered for their skin color. People are in jail because of their skin color, and nobody fucking cares about it. And so I don't like that people care more about property than they care about people's lives. And I think that that's a lot of the reason why we're out here. And like he was saying, like the internet's awful because there's a lot of fake news, but in the same light, like you also said, it's also amazing because you have all this information at your fingertips. We live in a country where you won't get in trouble for posting on Facebook your views. You won't get shot for saying, I think this. Whereas in other places, maybe it isn't the case. That isn't the case.
100%.
And you need to take it upon yourself to find the information on your own. Why people are looting. People don't just go crazy for no reason. People go crazy because they're angry. We're angry that this is happening. I'm angry. And it's not even happening to people that look like me, but I am still really fucking angry, and I don't get how people aren't angry. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You know, growing up and going to school, you start learning about the history of the United States. And I have to say, I mean, I went to Maine and they did a fairly good job.
I went to school in Illinois, Southern Illinois at that.
And they did. You know, we were taught about, being in a high union state, they smeared the South like motherfuckers. So we got taught all about the abuses and just, growing up being white and just thinking I'm attached to that, it makes you sick to your stomach. But then after you grow up and you think that, did they do that all for change or what happened? And I look and I see here now, and we're going through the same goddamn playbook. And we're still fighting for the same things in a different language.
Did you have something to add? You didn't get to really say much, but I've seen you here, and I want to make sure you have a chance to speak if you wanted to.
I respond to people, but people know this already, for the most part. Like, you know what's going on. It's not new. It's not some fresh new idea, no trend. Like, this has been happening. The only thing now is it's being recorded, it's being televised. More people out here in the streets. That's literally the only difference. Martin Luther King was walking right over there. Guess what he was saying? The same damn shit. The same damn shit. The only thing now is that we have Congress people and other people just more televised, speaking against things, speaking for things, and we have a lot more allies this time around. Because I feel like this generation, my generation, and the one after me, we don't care about your comfortability anymore. I'm not gonna sit here and be the good little black girl and be like, oh, okay, well, because you're not comfortable with that, all right, well, I'll just straighten my hair because it's not comfortable. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. My fro is big, my fro is wonderful, and my fro will be out.
It's fucking hair.
Like, period.
It's hair in your head,
your
it's hair in my
comfortability
head.
is not my problem anymore. If anything, like, no. Comfortability is what's got us to this point. It's why it's been a continuous problem. It's why the problem's not changing. It's people's comfortability. So it's time to be uncomfortable. You need to be completely anti-racist. It's not enough to be like, oh, okay, well, I have this black friend over here, or I'm not racist, like, I'm out here. No, be anti-racist. Be out here, do stuff for your family, talk to your friends, do all of that. Do everything that you can to prove that point and to show everyone that you're doing something outside of a Facebook post, outside of an Instagram post, outside of a march that does one day and then the next 3 weeks that this has been going on, you're not out here. Because for me, this is every single day. I don't get to take a break. If I go on a vacation, I still have to worry about if this Trump supporter and all these Trump signs, if I can go fishing and rent a boat, or am I gonna get like harassed? I still have to worry about that in 2020, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
I asked him the same question earlier, but I'd love from your perspective, what is the value in coming out here sort of in physical space to do that kind of advocacy?
I kind of spoke on it when she was talking about it. Like, the value of being out here is you don't just get to go off of a Facebook post or, like, I was going live. You can't just go off of my live. Like, you get to walk around. You get to see all of the different people. So you have people like me who are being a part of this. You have the people who are trying to have some black boy joy, who are dancing, and that's a protest in and of itself. I'm being happy despite everything that's going on. That's a protest. You have the allies out here that are giving water, giving food. Like, you get to be out here and be a part of history changing. Instead of sitting at home comfortable like, oh, okay, really? Now that I have these fences up? Oh, really? Why are you taking that statue down? Come find out. Do some research about Andrew Jackson.
Yeah.
Do you know how easy it was for them to paint over those fucking letters? But now there's a fence around that church. Do you know a few weeks ago, not even a few, I think it was like a week and a half, we watched a 9-year-old black boy speak to hundreds of people, because these streets were filled, about how he wants to change the world and he doesn't want to live in this world anymore and he just wants to make a difference. A 9-year-old black boy speaking to hundreds of people, being heard, making a difference. And you know what he said? He said, I can die now because I know that I made a difference. A 9-year-old black boy. And if you don't believe me, you can go to my damn Facebook Live because it's recorded. His mom was crying because that's a black woman educating this black man in today, and it's 9 years old, he can't even be innocent. He can't even be innocent and come out here and look at these damn signs and like play innocently. He can't do that. The fact that he has to talk to hundreds of people and try and tell them my life matters as a young and innocent ass boy, that's disgusting. And for you to think that you can sit at home and read a couple posts and articles and do all this and fake news and think that it's the same as going outside, even if it's one person, just do something for
it's the value of being out there and getting out and actually doing something besides going on your phone. This little mini computer can get you a lot of things and take you a lot of places, but use it to educate yourself.
Thank you, I really appreciate that. Very appropriate sign showed up just now.
Yeah, period.
Just to wrap up your question too, between the difference between typing and coming out here, I don't find myself to be a religious person, but I know about half this country would. And if you would like to follow in the steps of your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, he did not just send messages of what he wanted people to do. He went out there himself and connected with the people. Your thoughts and prayers does not do anything here on the ground. Your thoughts and prayers will not change the voices in Congress. Our presence, our physical presence, which is our time. Our time is the most valuable thing we have on this planet as a human being. And when you sacrifice that to join your brothers and sisters, that is love. And love does transcend all this.
Thank you. I really appreciate you spending so much time talking. Sorry? Yeah. Did you have something? Did you want to add something?
Yeah.
Sure. What did you want to say?
I just want to say I'm God's prophet, people.
Sorry, if you could speak
I'm
up.
God's prophet.
And what is your sort of message?
My message is the people will no longer suffer under my rule.
Oh.
Why do you laugh?
Under your, could you clarify what you mean?
I clarify by saying that I am God's prophet. Negation. Negation is my people. And they will no longer suffer under my rule.
How would your, you know, if you had the reforms or the changes that you wanted, how would things be different?
How would things be different?
Yeah.
There would be no longer black people dying under cops' authority. I'm going through all their brains, people. I am going to check them out.
All right. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
And I tell you what.
Sure.
I tell you, I am the chosen one from God. You know what I tell you? The government's got my kids that's had my kids for 300 years or longer. I tell you what, people, they are no longer gonna have my kids after this year. You know, I don't know if they're all bad people, because I don't think they are. The people that have my kids are people that I love, actually. I tell you what, people, we need to stand up for God. We need to take a stand for God. It's not all for black people, it's for all of us. I tell you what, racism will now be tolerated under me. Racism is a thing of the past, people. Racism is a complete abomination to God. I will not stand for it. I stand against it in the name of my Father, who art in heaven. You know, Jesus is the one who sent me. Jesus is the name to be lifted high. I'm not the name. I tell you what, I am Nicolaitans. The Nicolaitans are my people, so I'm Nicolaitan. I hope this reaches the news, people.
All right. Well, we were alive, so.
We need more people out here. I want to shut down the government.
Are you going to be out here the next few nights?
I want to shut down the government. The government has control over everything right now. They have control over God's power. They have control over God's people. You know what we need to do? We need to march together right down Capitol Hill. We need to march and stand at every exit of the government. Every entrance to the White House needs to be blocked off. Every entrance to the Capitol Hill needs to be blocked off.
All right.
Every entrance, people.
Fair enough. Thank you. I appreciate you talking.
You don't believe me, people?
All right, so things are mostly wound down here, but I do want to give kind of a final little kind of tour to, again, people who might have been joining late. You know, we're coming up on about 2 hours since I began live streaming, and if nothing kind of amps up by the time I'm done doing like a little tour, then I will I'll probably cut it soon. Apparently what had happened was, this is actually the first night ever that I've live streamed to multiple platforms at once. I downloaded a new app that lets me live stream to YouTube, which I've never done before, Facebook and Twitter. And Facebook and Twitter I'd been flipping back and forth, over the last few weeks. And so apparently I can't see any of the comments on any of those things, but apparently someone had seen that there were some comments that they found disrespectful on the Facebook one, and that was why they had kind of come over to me. So in any event, that led to a very interesting conversation, which I, of course, shared to you on here. So anyhow, what I wanted to show you is this is the kind of eastern side of 16th Street. You can see basically from that block on and back, there is basically a line of cement barricades and police officers, and ultimately what they are guarding is, you can see behind the St. John's Church. This is where the Bible stunt happened a few Mondays ago, so now, because there had been spray paint on it, labeling this the BHAZ, the Black House Autonomous Zone, police have basically surrounded it with cement barricades, a line of cops, and then the, fence before the church itself. Then, of course, on this side, you can see just that there's a fence, right, protecting, separating the protesters from the White House. So, tonight was a lot thinner of a crowd than apparently in the last few nights. And at this point, it's mostly wound down. You can see this is kind of the middle of it, the intersection of H Street with 16th, which is now called Black Lives Matter Plaza. Probably not more than 100 people at this point still around. So with that, I am going to conclude the live stream for the evening. I'll probably still hang out for a little while here just in case anything new happens, because it seems like most of the escalation has actually happened later at night. But I'm going to cut the live stream here. Like, share, and subscribe on whichever thing you are on, be it YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Thank you for watching, and again, keep comments respectful, please, as it certainly, is more productive that way, and also it adds some level of, misunderstanding on the street here when people see the negative commentary. So with that, thank you for watching, and good night.